Clog TV.
Beyond the policy.
You're welcome back to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, this is the KOKO Digest Morning Show, and we're about to have our main discussion. And today's topic, we are discussing the importance or the impact of IT on business growth. And I'm going to read to you the profile of our guest before I introduce him to you. So, our guest is a technology entrepreneur, a software engineer, and digital marketing enthusiast with over 14 years of experience in developing innovative digital solutions. He is currently a consulting general manager at Stratcon Digital, a subsidiary of Stratcon Energy and Trading, a major bulk oil distributor in Ghana. And Divine, I've mentioned his name, sorry. But Divine is also the co-founder and tech lead at Stimulus Technologies, where he leads a team of 8 developers to develop digital solutions. He has also had a stint at the University of Ghana Computing Systems during his national service, and at UGCS he was part of the 5-man team that deployed the Sakai e-learning system at the University of Ghana. So if you were definitely a student of the University of Ghana, you've heard of Sakai. We used it in our time. And also, this e-learning tool was the tool that became very indispensable during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. And today our guest is in the person of Mr. Divine Pupulampu. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Welcome. Glad to be here.
So yes, you are a software engineer and you're into all this tech stuff. And like I said earlier, we are discussing the impact of IT in business growth. So quickly, if you can probably tell us the importance of IT, especially now. I mean, we know it, but coming from somebody who is in that field, it would probably be more interesting or have some deeper details for us. So kindly give us just the details about that.
Thank you. So, I'll start by trying to demystify the word IT as we have it. When we talk about IT, most people see it as computers, smartphones, and anything internet.
Yeah.
But, we all agree that IT came from the word ICT, and it simply means information communication technology. What it means is that every knowledge you have in any field, the best way you communicate that field, services you offer and everything using technology becomes ICT.
Okay.
So for instance, if you are a taxi driver, you love driving taxi, and decide to say, anytime I'm walking around, I keep on honking my horn to stop people or to hail people.
Yeah.
I want to just get on an app where people get to schedule or book a ride for me to come and pick them up. You are just applying ICT or technology to your knowledge of driving.
Okay.
So that becomes ICT. If you are selling gobe and you decide that this gobe, people come to say it's really nice, I want to put it on social media where people could know that this is my joint or wherever I am. Or even if you have a business somewhere, you're cooking, restaurant, a choba, and you decide to put it on Google Map. So that when somebody says, I want to come to you, just say, enter my name and this way you're going to come. Okay. You're applying IT to get people location to your place. So ICT or IT in general, let me just demystify by saying it permeates most areas, almost every area of whatever we do. Okay. So that should set the basis, so now you can ask me more to get into it.
So can you give us the other parts of IT that we think are not IT but are actually IT with our businesses?
Yeah, for instance, let's say you are selling Gary in the market, right? And you've been using milk, KOKO, and things to measure.
Yeah, so longer.
The moment you move to putting something like electronic scale, where when you put on it, it gives the exact measurement. You say this is 1 kg, this is 2 kg. It's just an application of technology. Okay. So that's ICT in that sphere. Okay. If you are a pastor who preach and you've been preaching, you always have to shout your voice out. By applying a microphone contains chipset that goes to enhance your voice and everything. It is ICT you are using. So most things we do, we feel they are not technology, but they are in itself.
Yes. So basically, if like a farmer used to harvest his crops with cutlasses and now he's using maybe bulldozers and machinery, that is also employing technology,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Because
okay.
even the bulldozer, the car you drive, the car has got central processing unit, chipset
Yes.
in it. That's able to tell that, oh, there's fuel in the car, you have to move now, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
So technology permits through so many areas, moving away from doing things manually and a little bit getting to the automated area. You're applying ICT in whatever you're doing.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So let's quickly look at the competitive advantage that IT brings to us, or the strategic impact. So the broader topic is strategic impact. So I've even mentioned one. So how does IT or employing IT give one a competitive advantage over the other person?
Let's take, for instance, when it comes to the financial sector applying ICT. So maybe you are selling, right? And you decide not to use mobile money.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to your place to buy, and the person has 200 cedis. And he show it to you, say, I don't have change. Maybe he bought something for just 50 cedis, you don't have change. What happened? The person could go away with their money.
Yeah.
Because he cannot get change, maybe all around. But imagine using mobile money. First, so I accept mobile money, just instantly you get to accept it.
Okay.
So by just going that cashless alone, using
Yeah.
that digital channel, that's one thing that will enable your business to grow. Unlike previous time that you need to go and change a lot of money, carry it, or even the risk of carrying money. With mobile money, you can get to see money reaching your account instantly.
Okay.
That's one way which is helping people. And recently you could hear Bank of Ghana even saying mobile money transactions has really increased. I mean, in 2009 when mobile money was launched, most people see it as why should my money be virtual?
Yeah.
Just 3 years, there were only 300,000 mobile money users. But as of today, we have over 80 million mobile money users. So it shows you that it is something which people have come to adopt. And by just applying it, as I mentioned, let's say you are selling Gary and you accept mobile money alone, it means that people could send you money somewhere. You could even let people go and deliver it to them.
Yeah.
And even the delivery guy that is moving from whatever you're selling Gary to wherever it's going, they'll ask for location. Sometimes you give them your GPS location,
Yes.
which is like technology in any way. So those are some of the areas that technology is helping businesses to strive or businesses to grow.
Okay. So even with the fact that the number of mobile money users from 2009 till now has increased, would we say that that has also increased maybe some sort of adaptation as well? That as much as, you know, we may seem to be conservative, we don't really like new things or try to incorporate technology, we are still able to adapt.
Yeah, I mean, technology adoption is always slow. It starts small and keeps on growing. I mean, those times you see people tell you, I don't like social media. It's a bad thing. I mean, to the extent that even, excuse me, like some pastors preach against it. It's a devilish incarnation. But look at what happened during COVID time. Almost every church is now moving to using social media to get the word of God out there to people. Like mobile money, as you said, at the beginning, people say like, yes, they use it to send offerings and do all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it has really increased, the adoption rate has really increased. The more people get to appreciate what technology is about, they now come to understand its uses more. Yeah.
Okay. So, in this, in the strategic impact, are there any negative implications of IT on businesses?
For instance, let's just stay around the financial part of mobile money, for instance, we know people who just try to take advantage of the fact that people don't really understand how it works and they get to defraud people.
Yes.
So somebody could call you, apply a little bit of social engineering on you just for you to send money to them.
Yes.
That's like the negative implications people have to see. And also we have instances where though mobile money, people get to do cash in and cash out, we get some people who are into the merchant business who get robbed and all that kind of stuff. Those are some of the little impacts you have. And of course, recently we had an issue where our internet broke down because of some unforeseen
cables,
stuff. Yes. So it really sent a lot of people down because during that time people could not even transfer money. People who do online transaction could not transfer. You have to now resort to check
cash,
and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, those are some of the impacts you see. But overall, when you look at the general advantages of technology on businesses, especially, it's far bigger than maybe there's little negatives you may see.
But is mobile money the only thing susceptible to the negative implications of IT in businesses, or there are other aspects of businesses that could also be negatively affected with the IT, the aspects of IT, I mean?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes now most companies are even moving to the arena of doing a little bit more of having artificial intelligence to screen people when you're applying for jobs.
Yeah.
That's one negative area that is happening now. So when you're applying for a job and you don't have much knowledge about the whole hiring process on how HR people are now using AIs to screen for people, you may have a very good CV, you may be a very good candidate, but if that AI, which has been set to look out for some keywords, can't really identify what it is in there, they throw a lot of good candidates away.
Okay.
So that's one negative part of too much reliance on technology. You know, those days when you send your CV, somebody will physically look at it, screen it, and say, okay, I think this candidate will be good. Let me engage the person one or two and see if we should still go with them or not. But now, most people just use artificial intelligence to screen your first stage. And they get it through a lot of people away. So that could also contribute to the reason why some people will go to school, they are good candidates, they have good results, but they keep on applying for jobs and being rejected around, which is also contributing a little bit, a lot of unemployment around. So, I mean, that's one negative side to also see. There should be a little bit of blend between relying too much on technology and also bringing a little bit of a human factor in there.
Okay. So that's, you know, most businesses are now moving to social media for advertisements, you know, digital marketing. Would you say that there are negative implications of social media on businesses as well?
I mean, that depends on the angle you look at it from.
Okay.
Because most businesses are moving to social media, one advantage I could see that it has really increased customer service and service provision. Why? Because these days when somebody gives you a bad service, you can easily go to social media and call them out. Yeah. And because of that, businesses have become more like, they've become more careful on what they do to try and give customers a good review. Customers could give a good review. What will also happen, the negative side is that somebody who maybe doesn't have a good liking for business or want to destroy your business can put out fake stuff out there. Okay. Somebody can go to your Google reviews and give you a very negative review just by very small like issue that have happened, or maybe they deliberately want to mess up with your business. So that's also one angle to look at it. But in terms of going to social media, having a social media following that you can reach a lot of people, doing advert on social media is something which most businesses are encouraged to go. Okay. Because, for instance, let's say I go to place an advert on social media. I could target and say, okay, I want this advert that's on social media to be shown to people who are in a greater Accra region only, or maybe in a northern region only. That is something you can do targeted. And you can even measure to see how many people have viewed that particular advert. But unlike you putting out a billboard outside, right? You can't tell me how many people that passed by on the road raise their heads to look at the billboards and all those things. So it helps you to have metrics for you to be able to measure your investment in whatever you are doing on social media or the advertising you are doing for you to improve your business growth. Okay,
so not to jump into the security aspect quickly though, but we'll come to that. But then would you also say that social media tends to jeopardize the security of businesses? Because maybe I have made it known that I'm located here, and maybe a few customers come and they see that I'm probably the only shop here susceptible to attacks or something, so they can plan to come and, you know, rob my shop or something like that. Is that something that is realistic?
They always say that when you are doing business and you don't do advert, then you are doing a business in the dark. So, I mean, unless you have specialized services that you don't want people to know what you do, then you are better not putting yourself out there on social media, or maybe having your location on Google Maps, for instance. But if it's a service you want more customers, that's where the customers are. That's where you can reach them on. So you may want to get, on social media so that people will get to know where you are. And I mean, when it comes to technology using, we have what we call responsible technology usage. I mean, the fact that you have social media that you can tell people about what you do on business doesn't mean that you should put everything out there on your social media. Okay. Some people will be selling, and I don't know, when they are making sales, they will do Snapchats, they will do Facebook. Yeah, today
showing the money and
business
things.
is good, or you know, those kind of stuff. You are exposing yourself, so you have to be responsible in your technology usage. Okay.
Yes. So again, on the security, let's say, you know, some people have businesses, but they run the business in their homes. Something like that, would you advise that the location of the business be also put out there?
No, I wouldn't advise. I mean, unless you want customers to be coming to your home. If not, it's not advisable. And I mean, that's one advantage. That's one thing that technology has given, especially to young people. We have people now we call the Instagram sellers. Yes. They don't have any physical shop anywhere, which means that it's so expensive for them to go and rent a shop and be in. But you could just have your stuff on Instagram or social media. Somebody just requests, I want to buy a scarf. You can say, where are you located? Get it delivered to you. The person pays you for more money. This has enabled business. Imagine we don't have such medium.
Yeah.
The unemployment rate that we have, the numbers we are seeing now will be more because, I mean, with technology, that has enabled people to go to have shops without having physical shops. I mean, if the person is having, let's say, 1,000 items that they've been selling, and now they realize the demand is high, and they want to increase it to 2,000, there's no need to go and get any physical space and expand the physical space. You just have to simply add more orders to whatever you have. And people even have online shops. So you could see now most shops are now moving from the fact that aside the physical shops, they are also going to online because of the convenience it gives people. Some people don't want to even drive to shops to go and do some basic things which they could get at home. So during December, especially when there's a lot of traffic in town, that's why you see the Malcolm, the Palace Mall promoting their online shops because people could just sit at the comfort of their own home and get to order stuff and get it delivered to them. So, I mean, if you are selling something that is not like in your home and you don't want people to know where you are, I wouldn't advise you to put those things out there. But when you look at the flip side, technology enables everybody to become like a seller or becomes a shop using social media.
So with that also, another flip side of it is the susceptibility to being scammed, because you cannot find this shop anywhere in town and they've taken your money, they've blocked you everywhere, and you've spent a whole lot hoping to have gotten a service rendered or an item purchased. How do we navigate something like that then?
Yeah, so the responsible tech use also applies both ways, not just to the seller, but to the consumer as well. I mean, you can't go online and see somebody selling a Picanto and tell you it's 5,000 cedis. You say, yes, I've got a very good deal on Picanto, I want to buy it. I mean, how greedy can you be looking at everything? You go online, you see somebody selling like, let's say even people putting out their houses there for rent. You see a very plush bedroom house in a very like luxurious area. They tell you it's just 1,000 cedis a month, and you'll be like, yes, I want to do it. You want to pay for the person. You have to also be responsible. You have to follow up on some of these things. And for defrauding people and fraudsters, they are everywhere. I mean, even in the advanced countries where they use technology a lot, there are people who try to prey on people's ignorance. And that's the reason why I always encourage digital literacy. I mean, once in a while, just try and learn and know what people are doing about digital. And it shows like this, I mean, help people to understand that this is what tech is about. It's not always the positive. There could be negative side of it, and you have to be more responsible in whatever you do.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's come quickly to the financial implications. How does IT bring in more revenue to a business?
Yeah, I mean, the example I gave earlier about you selling and the fact that maybe you may not have a lot of change. I mean, at the end of the day, if people come to your, let's say there are two stores together. I come to you, I bring cash, you say you don't have change. That transaction could not go on. But so far as you accept more money, I could say, okay, let's do more. And what I've also realized in most cases, or some people's experience, they tell me they prefer to take more even than cash, because sometimes when you're about to pay them for Momo, they tell you add the charges. So people will add the charges, that will be a little bit 1 CD more or 2 CD more. And that helps their business more, unlike when you're taking cash that people will take it away. Also, when you do stuff like social media to expose your business, it means your business is seen by a lot of people and more people get to patronize your business. So that also gets to increase your revenue.
So let's say someone is starting a business, and with digitalization and IT and everything in this world, they need to sort of build a brand. But building the brand too seems to be a little cost intensive. Developing maybe their posters, their logos, social media accounts, managing it and all of that. Would that be a bit of a financial impact, a negative financial impact?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you want it to be done. So I always advise that, sometimes somebody wants to have something online, build a brand, and you say, I want that my social media page should be like maybe number of likes, like how MTN is. Like I want it to be like this. I want you to have this kind of photography and things, all that. All those things are cost intensive. They involve a lot of cost. I mean, depends on how you budget for it to be. But be rest assured that you will reap the returns on investment later on, though it may be long. If you're a small business, you're starting up, I advise that start small. I mean, you have the most powerful camera in your pocket. That's your smartphone, which now have got higher megapixels. And the same way we adopt technology in our businesses should be the same way as I always use the analogy of your child growing up. I mean, you can say you want to give birth to a child, and instantly when a child grows, they become 18 years, you keep on sending them around. It starts from somewhere, it starts from the conception stage. So when you are conceiving your technology application, just use the same principle. What do I want to achieve? How do I want it to be? So, okay, I want to be able to sell all my products online, solely online, and I want to reach this number of people within this particular number of months. So you plan that way. You don't start and say, okay, I want to reach 1 million people. Then you start first, then you start putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into boosting your brand for it to be seen. It will not seem organic. It has to grow organically. Like you can't have a small child here and give them a lot of lactose and expect them to grow as fast. It has to grow organically. Same applies to applying technology in your business growth. You have to start gradually and grow it based on that. And in fact, as you are growing and your revenue is increasing, you can then have the confidence to put in more money to grow or everything you're applying to technology. So you can start small. Start by doing your logo.
Okay.
That people get to know, do like good brand, and concentrate on your customer experience, because it is by you giving people good customer service and also interacting with them well on social media that will get them to refer more of their friends. And at the end of the day, it gets to grow your business more. So if you want to get into applying technology, maybe sometimes you want to do, some people tell you, I want to build a website. I want to build a mobile app. I want to get to digital marketing. You just have to evaluate your business. Sometimes you don't need a website, you don't need a mobile app. All you need is to have a social media presence and grow your brand from there. Sometimes maybe you need a website, but you don't need a mobile application. You just need a website and your digital market and your social media or digital marketing to be done. So you need to evaluate your business, have a plan for what you want to achieve, and grow gradually. With that, you see that it becomes cheaper for you. Yeah.
Okay. So with that, as you're saying, you should start small. What would you advise should be the percentage cost, as like in contrast with the revenue, or what percentage of the revenue would you advise that somebody starting a business or someone who has a business and wants to grow it online should use for building their brand, employing IT into the business? It
also depends on, as I mentioned, how you want your business plan, how you want businesses to grow. Now, you can start a business in 2024 and see digital marketing or applying technology as an afterthought.
Okay.
I mean, that's what happens. People do everything when they finish, okay, I want a website. Let's go and get somebody who do a very cheap website for us. I mean, the way you invest in, it should be as part of your starting capital for your business. Okay. You can consider it to be the same way you spend on your rent. Because at the end of the day, that you get to get a place and you're renting, it's the same importance you should invest into having your digital presence. Okay. Because you want people to see you and see that you are a genuine business. I mean, some people have a very flashy shop, you go inside, the first thing I'm going to do is go and check on Google to see how people are talking about your business, or check on social media, see how people are talking about your business. I mean, you have to give the same, almost equal amount of investment to how you invest in your shop space or your office space to how you do on your digital, because they all go together. Okay. I mean, and businesses are now running. Somebody can come to your website or your social media on a Saturday that will want a business done. So that gives you a lead that maybe if you don't even work during the weekends, you have a lead that's on the Monday you can attend to that customer. But if you don't invest into it, you don't have channels, you don't have ways for it to be automated, that you get alerts when somebody wants to reach you out. Like now, if you're using simple WhatsApp business account alone and automating things, somebody wants a particular thing, you could automate it by sending them the product catalog you have. You could let them know that, oh, I don't open at this particular time, this is the time I open, this is what I need to do. Just investing in that one alone. Somebody will say, okay, I only use here because I want to do Momo. Yeah. But investing into a good smartphone that can enable you to do a lot of things, take good pictures of your product that you can really put online. That's an investment you should have on equal level as maybe you going to get an office space and renting it. Okay.
Yep. So how do we employ IT to measure, revenue metrics, all those analytics that we need to do for our business? If you can give us a little details on that.
One example would be maybe you using an ERP on an accounting system. So
ERP. Some of us don't know what ERP is.
Yes, so it's just basically, usually now when you are doing stuff, you may have a notebook that you record inside. Okay, I have 50 Milo on the shelf, I have 20 this on the shelf and all that kind of stuff. You record in the book. Now by taking it onto an online medium, it could even be a simple Excel sheet.
Okay.
or like having a simple online stuff. So when you can go online, you can Google out free ERP systems. You can just have that. Keep all your stock inside. Be able to record your accounting systems. That helps you. So for instance, you could see that, oh, when I put Milo on the shelf, during August, it gets finished early. But in a book, it's very difficult for you to flip all the way to August and go and see all those things. It gets finished early. Why? Because maybe August, people are going to school. So that's when a lot of stock are done.
Yeah.
So in that, you have that in mind and you gauge what is the cost of the Milo I bought during the month of August. When did I stock it? You know the price. That helps you to plan. And you know that, yes, I need to stock the Milo because I realize usually it gets increased in the month of July. Let me buy a lot of Milo in June, stock it down for August time to maximize my profits. How do you get to know all this? And because you use an enterprise resource planning software that helps you to track your finances, helps you to track your accounting, helps you to track how your business is doing. So you could even see that, okay, I have this particular item in stock, maybe a particular biscuit brand. It's been in stock for a very long time and it's nearing expiry. What do I need to do? I mean, this biscuit brand is not being bought anymore. The next time I want to restock, I wouldn't buy this brand. Having even expiry by your products, which is in your ERP system, can even help you to always be compliant because, as you mentioned earlier, social media, somebody comes to your shop, comes to buy a product and realize that this product has expired.
Yeah.
They put on social media, hey, this shop, when you go there, their products are all expired products. I mean, that sort of gives you a negative brand image and diminishes your brand. But investing into a simple ERP system or an accounting system that gets to record some of these things helps you to track your business. You know how your business is growing, you know how your business growth and things are all going.
Okay, okay. So, yes, you mentioned spreadsheets, but are there other apps that we can use or systems that we can use aside the spreadsheets?
Yeah, there are a lot of free applications. I mean, you can just go to Google and Google at free enterprise resource planning. One common one which is being used by most people is called ERP Next. That's even big companies use it. Very comprehensive. You can go through it. And there's also Odoo. ODOO, which people use for accounting systems, also plan their stuff. Even when you have a shop, you can use Odoo as part of your POS system that's keep all your stock when people are buying the receipt that is printed out for them and all those things. It helps you to track, to know all these things. And I mean, one business area too, let's say you are into taxi, ride hailing, you can just subscribe to any of the ride hailing service like Uber, Bolt, Yango, and all that. What helps you that you're able to track, know that I've been buying fuel into my taxi, right? How when I buy fuel, say 500 cedis, how many distance do I travel? How much do I make? It helps you to track. It helps you to know how your money is going, how things are going for you to plan.
Okay. So with the rate of literacy in the country is pretty low, how do we sort of navigate or balance the low literacy rate and learning or incorporating digitalization into our businesses?
The good thing with technology is that it's not always about you being English literate that you can use technology. I mean, for instance, people use WhatsApp to communicate and do a lot of stuff. You can even send a simple voice note. Those times when maybe some people want to receive remittance from outside, all they need to do is that there are people who send them maybe money order by post. They have to take it now, go to the bank, go and fill out of paperwork for them to get. Or you have to take some particular number, go to Western Union, they'll give you a passcode that you need to write it out and all that. With how technology has now become, if your son or your daughter abroad want to send you money, just let your mother get a mobile money account. Instantly money comes into it. And that's very easy to operate even with the low-level mobile phones. So, I mean, yes, it's good for us to get more people to be educated, but we also need to balance that with digital literacy. I mean, somebody could be a professor but may have limited knowledge in a particular field of ICT. And some people also have this fear of technology. Some people will tell you that, oh, me, I'm BBC, I'm born before computers. So I don't deal in this ICT kind of stuff. But you just have to let them know that even you're going to send an email alone, you're applying technology in whatever you're doing. Instead of you sending a letter, going to the post office and saying that, just send an email with an attachment. You could get people to be done. So I think programs like what you are doing on KOKO Digest now is a way of letting people sensitize them, giving them that digital literacy, that it is not something that is very fearful, that you can't do it.
It's pretty simple.
You just have to get yourself into it and you are able to do that.
Okay, so with social media, I know some of the tips and tricks are maybe getting a very catchy caption, using a hashtag and something like this. But somebody who's semi-literate or an illiterate who has a business wants to put it on social media, how then do they, bridge that gap where they can find, or they'll be able to, I mean, some people will say let their children do it, but then that is not the whole population of business owners. There are certain people who are alone. They've learned one or two things, but being able to type one or two things to add to their photo or their video to advertise it is a problem. How then do we bridge something like that?
One thing you can do, social media, I also say that even WhatsApp is a social media platform. And most of us have been receiving our aunties and our grandmothers that we just keep on forwarding voice note to us, something somebody has said. It's simple. I mean, so far as you can take a picture of your product, you can just take a picture and put it in a group that you belong to and add a voice note to it in a local language saying, hey, I sell like a bag of oolong, a bag of gari. This is how much it goes for. It's very fresh, done from the village. You can get it delivered to you in Accra anywhere. Just drop your number. Just voice note alone. People will reach out to you and get that to be done. But when you get to a more like specialized nuanced areas of maybe Instagram or even doing stuff on Facebook or even trying to do TikTok, because now TikTok people doing dances and all those things, trying to promote their product. That's why some people have now, that's the other thing. Social media has brought us a different form of employment. Influencers. There are people that will get out of school and all they thought they want to be YouTubers, they want to just be influencers. For them, their job that they've catch out is how to promote some of your products. So you may not be able to do everything, but as you said, maybe your son or your daughter is in a house, they could help you. You could let them show you some basic things to do. I mean, you may not be able to do it as creative as they would have done because they are like the new generation. They understand some of those things, but they could tell you how to respond to people, how to manage your finances. At least when they put those things out there, just check and see, okay, my son didn't put his personal mobile money on the WhatsApp. That's all the funds we channel to them. Some of these things you can check through yourself and get to understand. Just a little bit of time and investment in them.
Thank you so much. It's getting very interesting here. It's getting very informative and educative. We'll be taking a quick break. Don't forget to send in your comments, your questions to our WhatsApp number displayed on your screen or onto our live stream on YouTube and on Facebook as well. We will be right back to learn more about the impact of IT on business. Welcome back to the KOKO Digest Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, this is the KOKO Digest Morning Show, and we are having our main discussion. We are talking about the impact of IT on businesses here in Ghana, and we are talking with Mr. Divine Pupilampu, who is a software engineer and also a digital marketer. He's well versed in the field of technology. So yes, back to what we were talking about, let's discuss the security issues, risks associated with employing IT in our businesses. So what are some of the risks we are likely to face?
Sometimes you can get cyber attacks.
Okay.
And I mean, we look at it from the angle of, say you have your physical shop and you deal in a lot of high-level transactions, you would definitely have a security man sitting in front of there to check people who are coming, just to be sure. Sometimes you even employ a police personnel if you're a bank. That's what happens again in employing technology into your stuff. You have a website, you need to get people who are versed in that. So we call them more like a digital security man. Okay. They check to see if your IT systems, your things you are done are all okay. They are not porous. I mean, even if you have a physical shop in itself and you decide that I don't want to employ people sitting physically in front of the shop, but I want to have CCTV cameras where I can remotely monitor and see what is happening. You are again employing technology into that, but know that CCTV camera could also be hacked. I mean, how can that happen? When a person identifies the source of your CCTV, they can cut the feed off. Or if you don't have a backup power supply for that, and they cut your main power supply off, it's off, they could get access to your premises. So those are some of the things to mitigate against technology attack or cyber attacks, you need to get people who understand this kind of cyber security protocols. Even when you have social media, I always advise people, if they have their WhatsApp, do you have two-factor authentication on? If yes or no. That's just a simple ways of you using an extra layer of protection against your social media. So some of us sell on WhatsApp because you have WhatsApp business where we have our catalog and everything on there. We sell on Facebook, on Facebook where we have our products and things listed. We chat with people, inbox, people send us money and all that. People see that your business is booming. And there's this trend where when business is going on well and people are WhatsApping you, giving you good reviews and even telling you how much more product they'll buy. People screenshot that and put it on Instagram. Someone will just be lurking around and just be saying that, yes, so you saw this product, the product is worth 20 cedis. And I can see this client alone bought like 50 of that product. You have this much of money. How do I get access to your account and also defraud people using your account so they can send me money in the long run? So with this, you have to have two-factor authentication. They are hidden stuff in their social media apps that gives the extra level of security. So if you are selling on Instagram, Facebook, for instance, just make sure you go to your settings and go to the security area and tighten up your security a little bit. That helps you to avoid some of these cyber security attacks. Do you have a website? You need to get somebody who is vested in cyber security to do what we call pen testing. They try and penetrate your website or your mobile application to see if loopholes they could identify to help you patch them. So that's what it is. I mean, with technology, you see some things working all right, but you have to invest in continuous maintenance. And that's one thing that I see most people do. They say, okay, I have a website, I have a social media page, and I just go and sleep. You have to do continuous maintenance. Just like you can't have a shop that you are selling, and every day you come to the shop, you don't even sweep the shop, you don't do any maintenance, and you think everything will go on well. It's the same principle applies to technology. At the end of the day, just make sure that you get people to update your website for you to be sure there are no vulnerabilities. I mean, WhatsApp is working very fine, but you can see that sometimes you get WhatsApp updates. Your mobile OS is working very fine, but either Android or Apple will send you an update. Why? Because they want to do improvement, and you need to always improve. As I mentioned earlier, when adopting technology, you have to be continuous improvement. So you don't just do it and invest once and see that is what it is. At the end of the day, you realize that you spend a lot of money in your initial investment. When it comes to maintenance, then you are reluctant to do it, and everything keeps on crumbling down, and you feel like tech doesn't help me. Yes, so
so even though you mentioned the two-factor authentication, I wanted to ask about measuring the effectiveness of, disaster recovery plans. So if you can give us a few ways we can input that into our business, disaster recovery. I think the conversation was already going there, so let's just...
So I mean, when you talk about disaster recovery, maybe when something unforeseen happens to your business, what backup do you have to rely on? So if you are talking about the physical world, like as I said, let's say you record all your transactions in a book and a ledger, and there's a fire outbreak. What happens? That means all your records are burnt out. But if you have something in the cloud, or you have something, a spreadsheet on your computer, where you record all these things, at the end of the day, it's advisable you either email it to yourself to keep in your email, or you keep it in the cloud storage, like Google Drive, a Dropbox. What happens is if your physical copy on your computer, your machine crashes, somebody gets to steal your device, at the end of the day, you have all your items in the cloud. I mean, there was one bad thing that happened to me 2 years ago. I was working whilst my friend was driving, and I got a crash. My machine totally collapsed. But because every day I have all my stuff in the cloud, I just got a new machine and I got everything back. Imagine you don't keep things in the cloud. I'll have lost all the data I have. So sometimes somebody will tell that I'm using Google Drive, it's getting full, I don't want to pay for it. Think about it, just paying 2 terabytes worth of storage space to keep a lot of things in the cloud. It's like 450 cities a whole year. I mean, think about the loss that will come to you if you have a lot of information that you keep and you don't store it in the cloud. So, I mean, you have to think about all these things and the backup for your business.
So you've been mentioning cloud, but for the sake of some of our viewers who are not tech savvy, what is the cloud?
So it's simply a service online where you get to keep your information there. That you can always access it anywhere, anytime. So even if you have products of your services, you take pictures of all the products or the various products you have and keep on posting them on social media. In a way, you are backing up your pictures on Facebook or on Instagram. Assuming the phone you are using today, the phone is stolen or it falls in water or it crashes or anything, you can go back to Facebook, get to download those images you stored earlier and get access to it.
Okay.
Or in your email, in your Google Drive, when you keep all those photos and videos in that particular online storage, you can always access it. You can share with people. You can move to any country at all. So far as you can log into that internet medium, you get access to all your information.
Okay, so the cloud is basically like some sort of suitcase online. Yes, a digital suitcase that you can pack all your valuables.
Exactly.
Okay, so with the security again, how are we, I mean, there's two-factor authentication, but are there any other things we need to know that the apps provide for us that we can use for our security?
Almost every application has got their own security protocols and whatever they use. But one thing to also advise is that you, the human being, are the first form of defense. So a company may be using, we have a computer that we use to record our leisure and stuff all around. You need to know that when you input a USB pen drive into your device and that drive is taken from somewhere and infested, it can mess up with your computer. Virus can get into your computer and destroy your information that's on your computer. They call it a ransomware, where they hijack your whole device, ask you to pay before they are able to unlock it for you.
Okay.
So you, the human being, you are your first form of defense. You just don't allow anybody to put any drive inside. And most companies have principles where, though they give you a computer, you can't put anything into it. They have principles where you can't install any application on your device. You can't go to any website at all that you want to go to. Those are some of the things to mitigate against some of these cybersecurity attacks and all that. And some people will be browsing online. They get to go to some websites and get to download things. Like somebody want to watch a movie, they Google it online, they go to some sites. You realize that the site has a lot of pirated websites. Get to download applications onto your computer. Sometimes you say, okay, press this to win $1 million. Then as I said, like you just have to be responsive. When you click on that, it downloads application that get to install, and you have a lot of viruses and things that are worrying you. So that's one clear, safe way for you to do it. If the thing looks too good to be true online, I mean, just back off. You're not too sure. Just let it go.
So we have a question here, and it says, how frequently are security audits and pen testing conducted?
It always depends on, I mean, sometimes companies that are on a particular ISO standard, there are rules on how frequently you should do it.
Okay.
But I mean, based on how you have your IT system set up, some people even do pen testing every day.
Okay.
Depends on what system you have. Or they have system that gets to check and mitigate against attacks. If you are using a website, there's a service that people subscribe to, something like Immunify 360, that gets to check your website every single time, seeing people coming up with fictitious login details wherever they are coming from. It gets to do that. So it depends on the kind of business you are doing, but it's always advisable that just like maybe your security man will do a sweep around your premises at a particular point in time, and the business you have, you should always sort of check your system to see if they are doing well. Check your email. Are you getting a lot of fictitious email? What may happen? Did I expose my password somewhere, or that kind of stuff? And always try to use strong passwords. Like, don't try to use the same password all across. I mean, people are fine, so I'll forget. So they just use the same password all across. Have a way of recording your passwords so that you use different passwords for different places. There are even password managers that you can subscribe to. So they manage your password for you. So even Google Chrome, when you're using it, has password manager inbuilt. There's also what we call LastPass and some other password manager. It helps you to manage it. So you're able to set strong passwords and even have policies. Sometimes once every 3 months, it reminds you change your password.
Okay.
Just so you are safe. Some of all these things should be part of your security audit and things you do.
But somebody too could say that, oh, my business is not that serious that I have to be doing all of these, doing so much just to protect myself. So what would you say to somebody like that?
Then give me your phone PIN code. If it's not serious, give me your phone PIN code. People will say that, but can you give me your password? They'll say no. Because no matter how you look at it, you need a way to protect yourself. I mean, you can't tell me, I don't have anything much, so when you get to your house, you open your door ajar.
No, yeah.
Yes, so that's one thing you need to also consider. You have to take that seriously. Don't just underestimate, unless maybe you don't have it in mind that your business is going to grow. So far as you have that, your business is going to grow and you get to achieve whatever it is. Take your security and things serious. The more you do, it becomes a part and habit of you. That helps you to grow and become the big companies you all see around.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at the future, with our AI and those things, what does the future look like for us?
Well, AI is like a big buzzword now, mostly popularized by the generative models like ChatGPT and all that. But AI has always been with us for a very long time. Like as I was saying, if you put your stuff in an ERP and it's able to alert you and tell you that you are running low on your stock of Milo you have in your shop, that's like an artificial intelligence. It's telling you that, yes, you have this number of items in stock, you're running low, you get to do it. But now, in the past 2 years, we have gone to what we call the generative AI models, where people have tech systems having a lot of information now that they're able to do a more precise and accurate predictions, do more advanced machine learning and stuff. That's because also processes and things have become faster. And we are moving towards that particular arena. You can employ artificial intelligence in your business, for instance, in terms of customer experience and how you respond to queries. You can use a simple chatbot on Facebook Messenger to automate your queries. So you realize that a lot of people, when they come to ask about your product, they have a particular line of questions they ask you all the time. You could automate that and say, okay, when you come, the bot will ask you, what do you want? How would I serve you? And give automated stuff. So you can just go and sleep and your shop is sort of running 24/7 and things are going on with you. That's one area is going. So you just have to see how to apply artificial intelligence in your particular line of business and you get to employ it. That will help you.
But with the chatbots thing that you mentioned, some people may say, oh, I want to give my customers, I don't want to make it too artificial. I want to give them that human feeling where they are interacting with the person. So we may even build a relationship, because I'm sure there have been certain online businesses where customers become friends with the person selling. So something like that, how do you balance having your automated
so you can balance it by saying, okay, you close your work at 6 p.m. That's when you normally close whatever you do. But let your bot take over from, let's say, 6 p.m. to 5 a.m., that kind of stuff, so that they do the most automated queries. So you see, even on WhatsApp Business, it has the option to tell you to set your business hours. When somebody tries to reach you outside your business hours, that automated prompts come in, and it gives you how to even customize it for people to know. So it's not like somebody sends you a hi and say, this guy, he doesn't respond to messages fast and all that kind of stuff. That could also drive people away. But knowing that, sending them that automated query that, hey, our business is closed for today, or we are currently having some renovation, but you can leave a message by here or click on this particular link to see more of our products. That's also a way of trying to keep customers alive. Then at the end of the day, you get to talk to them. It even helps you in a way. The AI also helps in a way to save out people who are serious customers. You know, there are people who just go, how much is it, without even wanting to purchase it. So if you say you want to be responding to every single person and getting through without saving them out, you get one out. So it helps you to save out people in a way before you do your personal interaction with them.
Okay. So because of time, I think we will need you back so that we talk more about the human capital and skill sets and even the challenges that we face with IT. But then, as we are about to wrap up, what would you like to tell the general public about incorporating IT into their business?
And I'll just end by saying by going back to how I started. Information communication technology is all around us. It's just by you applying technology in your business like you do. So if you're a farmer and you're applying a tractor, you're applying technology. If you're a farmer, you're applying a drone to spray your farm. And then you walking and having those things, you're applying technology. If you are a pastor and you are streaming the word of God out there for people to get to change to Christ, you are applying technology. If you are somebody who sells Gary and you are using electronic skill, you are applying technology. If you are somebody who doesn't have a shop at all, you are on social media selling, you are applying technology. So no matter what you do, know that tech is around us and you can't run away from it. There was an era where people used to ride horses and they move on to people riding some kind of abongo, cholole and all those things. Now we've moved to an era where people are having sophisticated cars and all that. Same is applying to the world of technology. Businesses have moved from just doing things like how you know to technology, and it's going to be with you for a very long time. So start adopting that in your business, and that will help your business to grow. Adopt things like cashless payments, like mobile money, even try to get POS systems and all that. And that will help your business to grow and be relevant in these modern times.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have a last minute question, and this is from Kendra on YouTube, and she's asking what procedures exist for reporting suspicious emails?
So depends on how it's set up. So, for
Okay.
instance, if it's an organizational email setup, I know most IT companies have IT policies
Okay.
for you to report that this email is suspicious. Normally, also, most of the email clients like Google, Microsoft, and all that, as soon as you get an email, they put some in junk because they
Okay,
suspect
yeah,
based on how it comes. Now, when you go there and you go and click that this is not spam, in a way, it tells them that this is not a spam email. But if you could report in there that this is a spam email in a Google box, that's where they get to mark it and that this particular is a spam email. So
Okay.
you can do all that. Also, you can also report when you write a particular domain is sending emails that you realize are suspicious. You can report them in your email inbox.
Okay.
And that will also block those ones. Also on your smartphones, once you realize maybe it may not be email, but somebody calling you,
Yeah.
that realize that person is suspicious, you can simply
Yeah.
tap on that and block the person.
So even I think with that, Truecaller helps us. Sometimes you get a call when Truecaller identifies the number, they usually add spam or scam or
it's
something
because
to it.
people keep on reporting it,
Yeah.
and that's how come email systems also get to know which emails to put in your junk box and also
Okay.
to keep them. I mean, aside the reporting, they also use some principles. If you have not communicated with the person before, the person sends you some attachment which is suspicious, they get to classify that as a spam.
Okay.
Spam email.
Even though we decided to wrap up, I want to ask one last thing. So yes, these days there are all these digital courses coming up: digital marketing, cybersecurity, UI, UX, a whole lot. If you can advise our audience or our viewers on taking up these skills, considering the fact that this is where the world is moving, we would really appreciate something
Yes,
like
so
that.
these days, education has become cheap in a sense that all you need is your data. And you can use places like Coursera, Coursera.org. You can go there and learn for free from people. If you want to get into more like IT, learn different things about IT. IT is not just about, you coding or you doing digital marketing. There are people who call project managers. So, identify some people who like things to be a particular way to
Yeah.
control people. You can become a project manager and become an IT project manager. You can also become a product manager. So all you do is, I always tell, and I see that as a fault, which is good for most Ghanaian ladies who like criticizing. Because, they want to find fault with anything. If somebody has a particular mobile application or website, you think, this should be nice, this should be this. You help shape a product to become more refined. You can start thinking about product management, getting into product management area. You're into marketing, and maybe you want to expand your skill by applying technology. You can subscribe to digital marketing tools online. You can also go to YouTube. Just go type in social media for beginners or digital marketing for beginners, product manager for beginners. You get to see a lot of resources, a lot of courses, and you could look through and see how many views people have or how many comments people have on that particular video. That will tell that, okay, this is something which is good for me to take. So, there are a lot of resources online. All you need to do is, they are just a Google search away from you.
Okay.
Just go and Google out free courses based on your particular area of interest. Google themselves has a free digital marketing arena. So you can just go to Google online learning courses and you take the Google learning skills place for you to get a lot of courses for yourself.
Okay.
Yes. So these days you can learn anything online. I always tell people that you can go to YouTube and Google out how to be a witch. Follow to the last moment to be a witch. So all you need is your data.
Okay. Thank you so much. It has
Welcome.
been a very educative conversation, and all too soon we have to wrap up. So I would say a big thank you to you, my viewers, for watching. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you everybody that sent in their comments to our WhatsApp and our live streams on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you to our production team. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to everybody that contributed, from our driver to everyone that inputted something to make the show a success today. And of course, we will be back on Thursday morning, bright and early, and see you again. We do hope that you have an amazing week ahead. We will see you on Thursday morning. Have a blessed day.
clogged TV.
Beyond the policy.